Hello everyone, my name is Rojes and today we would be discussing about some of the challenges faced by the youth in a multicultural society, especially in the context of Australia. If you see that we have a lot of young people, especially from the traditional Malayali families in Kerala, who have been born and brought up in Australia and living in this country for past many years. Many of them have studied in the primary schools here, in the colleges here, now in the universities. Especially from the time that they transition from the primary school to the secondary school and to the colleges, they find a huge shift in the culture. Many of their friends, even though they're studying in Catholic colleges, many of their friends may not be going to churches, may not be taking sacraments, and for them, going to Sunday Mass, going for confession, receiving Holy Communion, etc., might be a question mark. Because the culture that they see in an environment of a typical Malayali family would be different from the culture that they would be facing outside. The first problem that the young people are facing is the identity crisis. What is my identity? Or who am I? Whether am I a 100% Australian or a 100% Keralite young person? So where do I stand? Because my parents says that I need to be grown up in a culture of Kerala. My society says that no, that is not a culture that you can follow here. You need to be an Australian. You need to live like an Australian. You need to think like an Australian. You need to think like an European. You need to think like a Canadian, wherever it is actually. So they are in the midst of an identity crisis today. They are always in search of truth because the world says that the truth is this. The truth is secularism. The truth is no religion. The truth is joys and pleasures of the life. And the other side, they hear that the truth is Jesus. So what is the truth? Where can they find perfect happiness? The third is the run for more luxury, powers and money and positions in the society. Today we see that most of the Western societies, people can earn a lot of money because there is minimum wages for every job being offered here, and they start earning from their very young ages, which is definitely a good habit. But having born and brought up in that environment of making money from their young ages, do I follow what my friends are doing? That I can work on Saturdays, Sundays, not going for masses, not participating in the church activities, not being in the family, and still run for making money? Is that what my identity is? There is also challenges that the young people are facing with respect to their stereotyping, discriminations in the basis of their the place they were coming from, the way in which they're talking, the food that they're eating. And when they talk about faith, people start mocking at them because nobody believes that there's something called God. Nobody believes that there's something called a religion, because for them, most of their friends, peer groups, etc., would be people who are secular, mentioning this no religion. Another great challenge that the youngsters are facing is the social media impact. There's been lots and lots of information getting posted in the social media forums, questions being posed about their faith, for which many times these young people do not have answers to give. Or there is no source in which they can authentically go and understand what is the truth behind this. Why do I go to church? Why do I attend the Mass on Sundays or even other days? Why do I receive confession? Why do I go to confession? Why do I study catechism? Why shouldn't I have a sex before marriage? What is wrong with abortion? Is LGBT an issue? What is it? What is the point of view from a faith? These are some of the questions which the entire young generation is facing today. And there is no much authentic sources of answer which they can get or which they are trained into. So these are some of the challenges that our young generation is definitely facing. Now, how do we overcome these challenges? Today, the young people are not in the churches because of various reasons. We don't know what it is. But what is our role today? We need to start listening to them. It is the duty of the generation today, the older generation, to go and listen to them in whatever places they are. If they are not coming to the church, go to them in which places they are and listen to them. What they are talking, what is the need, what are they searching for? We cannot force them to get back to the church, but we can always go back to them and see what they want. As Pope Francis says that you need to be where the young people are. It can be in the parks. It sometimes might be in the pubs. It can be in the movie halls. It can be in the dance floors. But yes, we need to reach out to them where they are and start listening to them. We need to start involving them in various things that we are doing, especially with respect to various activities. What do we see? That young people are mostly activity oriented. They want to get involved in the things. It's not the theory that they want always understand. They wanted to get involved in the things. Give them the opportunity to come and serve in the church. Give them the opportunity to be a part of the parish community. Give them the opportunity to voice their opinion and be it heard. The young people also need to be equipped with the catechism, because that is where most of the times as young person we feel challenges, because when our faith is questioned, we don't have answers to give it to many of these questions, because our catechism is not strong enough to answer those questions. Be it about gay marriages, be it about LGBT community, be it about sex before marriage, be it about homosexuality, whatever it is. Be it about going for the mass, be it about telling a rosary. What is the basis? What is the teachings of the church behind all these things? And from a parent's point of view, the parents also need to get trained to understand what are the real challenges that the children are facing when growing up in a multicultural environment. Many a times, the parents are not trained enough to handle such situations. Here is where a lot of prudence is required. When my youngster is growing up in an environment like this, what are the kind of things, what are the kind of changes as a parent that I need to understand? Rather than pushing things onto them, we need to try and understand as a parent their language. We need to speak in their language, listen to their language. And if we need to change ourselves, we need to be ready to make the change so that our children are accepted in a multicultural environment. The youngsters need to be actively participating in various faith communities where they can be together, because when they are single, it is easy to be defeated by the powers of the secular world. But when they are together, when they have a group of like-minded people, youngsters who can share their faith, it is not that easy to break them apart. The activities like SFIM and other youth movements are definitely helping the youngsters to continue the journey in the faith, because when you are together, that strength is much more. So there are various kind of scenarios like this that can be looked upon to break this multicultural barrier and to make the youth getting involved in these things and to make them feel a part of this culture. Yes, definitely they need to live here, they need to set up their family here, they need to have their future here, and everything needs to be here because this is the country. So when they're living here, they also need to be equipped to face the future, to face the current situation. Rather than just running away from the crowd, their role is also to evangelize. Through their faith, through their practices, through their beliefs, they need to change a difference. They need to create a difference. They need to bring lots of people who are moving away from the church today closer to Christ. And that is exactly what these multicultural environments can actually help in this country, especially for the youngsters who have come from Kerala, who have been here for studies or who have been raised in the families where the faith is of priority, definitely this country has got a lot to get from those children. We need to encourage them to come back to Christ through their words and actions. They need to be the fifth gospel to the friends who have not been to the church, to the friends who have not been to the sacraments for many years, to the friends who don't know about Jesus. These youngsters can be the fifth gospel to them. Hence, I conclude this presentation by mentioning that the church is still not yet dead. We still have a lot of youngsters out there who have passion for the Christ and who are dedicated for the Christ. The only thing is that we doesn't have to lose hope. The future is still bright. Thank you.